Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Kristen, and today I'm going to be doing the I Never book tag. There are 10 questions on this tag, so hopefully I can give you guys some different books than I have said before. So let's get to it. Okay, so this tag is originally done by Lizzie Faye Loves Books, and I will link her video down below for you guys. And this is just a fun tag with questions that have to do with things I've never done. So it should be interesting. Have the questions printed out this time, so maybe it'll be a little bit easier for me to keep up. So hopefully. So number one, the first prompt is, I never read that. Name a book that you've never read that everyone else has. And that one for me is Eat, Pray, Love. I feel like most people, well, a lot of people have read this one. If you're like really into, especially adult, like books and things, I feel like this is one that a lot of people have read. It has been on my shelf for years and I just haven't gotten around to reading it yet. Maybe I will eventually, but it's just been sitting there on my shelf for a long time. So, sad story. It makes me feel bad for it. Number two, I never read anything so awesome. Name your favorite book. You all know this one is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, because this question has come up a couple of times at least, and I have said this one. So, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, in my opinion, best book ever. Best book out of that series, obviously. Best book ever. Okay. Number three, I never thought I would get through it. Name a book that you didn't like but powered through it anyways. For me, that was Wildwood. I don't know, I picked this book up on a whim. We were in Florida last summer, and where my husband's grandparents live, they have this really cool used bookstore, and they had a gift card, and they were like, if you're going there, here, you can have this gift card. So I was like, cool. So I picked this up on a whim because it looked interesting. It is more of a younger YA book, so I would say like a middle school-ish. The kids in it are younger. It just seemed interesting because the little girl in this book and the boy who follows her along on this adventure, they go into the Wildwood, which is where no one really goes, and they go on these adventures, and there's talking animals and different fairy tale type creatures, and one evil queen who is trying to take over everything. And it's just really it was really interesting, like back of the book, you know, like cover. But when I got into it, you can see this is a huge book. I mean, it's kind of short, but it has like 500 something pages in it. And it just could have wrapped up in like 300, less than that. Like, it just drug on. It was like, please get to the point of this book. Please get to the interesting parts of this book. So it did have interesting bits, but they were so few and far between that it just was. But I powered through it, and I got through it, but I was not a fan. Not a fan. Number four, I will never finish that. Name a book or series that you don't plan on finishing. For me, that is You. I tried. Love the series on Netflix. Love it. Tried so hard to read this book, and I think I got less than 100 pages in, and I just couldn't do it anymore. If you thought the movie was a little bit was creepy, the book is definitely more creepy. And it had more content in it than, I mean, I guess watching it and reading it is different. I don't know. But it just seemed to have more content than the actual series of the, you know, sexual nature. So I just, a little bit of that maybe, but like not as much as was in it. So those kind of things just not, you know, and you're going to see that I'm just going to contradict myself in a question or two, but I don't know. It was just a lot. So will not finish this book. I don't think ever. Okay, number 5. I will never regret reading that. Name a book you read solely on a recommendation that you ended up really liking. And for me, that is Year One by Nora Roberts. I hadn't read Nora Roberts in a really long time. To me, I guess I had thought of her more as like a romance type of author, and I'm just not into that. One of my coworkers and friends, she suggested Year One, which is one of her, is from her newer series or trilogy, and she actually suggested the whole trilogy, but Year One was really good. It is a more fantasy. It's cool because it's kind of like fantasy versus post-apocalyptic kind of. It was really neat. It was it had a lot of great characters. It had a lot of great stuff in it. Different storylines coming together, which I really, really enjoyed. If you like magic, if you like witches, fairies, just magical creatures, but you also like adult novels, like, she does a very good job of blending those, and I did truly love it. I have the second in the series that I just got this summer that I plan on reading soon, and then hopefully we'll get the third one. So that is one that I got solely on a recommendation and really did enjoy it. Okay, number 6, and I'm looking down, I'm trying to read, sorry. Number 6 is, I would never do that. Name a relatable book character who made choices you didn't agree with or did things you would never do. And I'm going to go with The Perfect Mother. This one has, it hasn't even been that long, but I want to say there's 4 main moms in this book, and one of the moms' child goes missing, and through the investigation and all, these other moms get into the investigation, and one of them just goes far, way too far, when it comes to like trying to figure out who took this baby. And like, I was cringing through the whole book because, yeah, she was an overprotective mom. I feel like I don't think I'm overprotective, because some people are like, oh, don't let my kids do that, and I'm like, oh, totally let my kids do that. But I am a pretty protective mom, I think, and so these characters were really relatable to me, but like, I was cringing at like some of the stuff that these moms were doing, especially the one mom, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I would never do that. Oh my gosh, this is so awkward. Oh my gosh, she's gonna get caught. Oh my goodness, what is she doing? Why is she in this person's house? What is she doing? You know, like, so definitely relatable characters, but I would never do the things that some of them did, and I was like freaking out for them. Like, freaking out. No lie. Okay, so the next one is kind of the one I was talking about. I would contradict myself a little bit. Number 7, I never wanted to admit it. Name a book that you were embarrassed to say you read or were embarrassed to carry around with you. One that I never would carry around with me when I was reading it was the 50 Shades of Grey. Do you see I'm even having trouble like admitting that now? I don't know why. It was a really good book, and I didn't think the content in it, I mean, the content in it was more than I had read before, but like I said, I think you had way more, like, in the first 100 pages than is in 50 Shades of Grey. So, but I did read 50 Shades of Grey as a college student at a Christian university, so I definitely never carried it around with me, because that would have been a definite no. So, at that time, definitely was, like, you know, really embarrassed and ashamed, and, well, not ashamed, but I just didn't want to like advertise I was reading it. But I did not read the other 2, but I did think the first one was really good. I didn't think the content was quite as bad. I know it was a huge uproar at the time when it came out, and people were like, shame, shouldn't be reading. You know, we make decisions for ourselves. So that was one that I made, you know. Next is, I never read anything so heartwarming. Name a book or a series that really touched your heart. So I loved this book, and I cried through it, and I follow, it's Through the Eyes of Hope, by Lacey Buchanan, and I have followed her for years and years and years, and I actually got the advanced copy of this one to read and review, way back. I think it was when I first moved to Georgia, so I want to say 5-ish years ago. If you don't know anything about them, Lacey, she got pregnant with Christian, and he obviously had a lot of the cleft palate and some other issues. I'm not exactly sure what medically it is exactly. And she got shamed by a lot of people because she had him. He's been through a lot of surgeries and things, and I have literally watched this child grow up because I started following them. She made a YouTube video that came out really, and I think everybody watched it, and about her pregnancy and how excited she was, and the things that she went through with him, and she goes through all that in the book, and she goes through talking about him and what he's been through and continues to go through. But now I want to say he is probably, so I want to say he's older than my child, so I want to say he's like 7, 8, 9, somewhere around that age. But I have watched him grow, and I follow them on social media, and the story is so heartwarming. It will break your heart, the things that they have been through, but he is such a vibrant, beautiful child, and he loves music, and I've just loved following them and their story. So if you are looking for something really, really heartwarming, it's gonna probably make you cry, but I have never read a book that made me cry as much as this one did. But and also, like, look them up. It's just, I love to watch like the videos she posts of Christian and his brother, and I love these people, and was felt very, very good to be chosen as one who got the advanced copy of this book. So that was quite a while ago, but I absolutely love this book and cannot recommend it enough. Okay, number 9. I never laughed so hard. Name a book that made you laugh out loud. So I'm gonna go with Princess Bride on that one. I don't read a lot of funny books. I think I had another question on another book tag about a funny book, and I had said a different one. This one is another one that I think is really hilarious. Obviously, if you've seen the movie, you know it's funny. The book is also hilarious. So I love that book. Don't physically have it, but it is a movie that I love, and it is a book that I love, and that was really, really funny. And then the last one is, I never could have made it through childhood without it. Name a favorite childhood book or book series. So, you guys know I love Harry Potter. I've already gone over Anne of Green Gables. Those are ones that I had as a child, so I'm not going to reiterate those. Another series that I loved, and this isn't even the first one in the series. I think my daughter has the first one somewhere in her room, but this is one of the ones in the Borrowers series. I loved this series as a child. We did a book reading competition when I was in 5th grade, and I read the whole series for that competition, and tried to get the most pages read, and I just loved this. It was a huge part of my childhood. I know there's movies. I think I have seen the movies like when I was a kid or something, but I can't really remember those. I wasn't really into them. I was really into these books. They are very good books. I still think they're great books and can't wait to read them to my children. Like I said, I'm pretty sure my daughter has 1 or 2 of them in her room too, because I think I have the whole series. So I just pulled the one that I could find on my shelf. So The Borrowers, could not have gotten through childhood without it. So that was the I Never book tag. Just some fun questions, just to recommend or tell you about some different books that I haven't talked about previously. Let me know down below. I would love to know what books you have read and were ashamed to carry around. That's like that was the most interesting one. So yeah, I'm sorry I look a hot mess today, guys. I'm so stressed out and breaking out. My car broke down this week, and if you're still hanging in there with me, then this should may not make you laugh. I don't want to make you feel bad for me, but I broke down on the side of the road with my 3 kids and my dog in the car. And then I found out I need a new transmission. So it has been a week, and I'm so stressed and broken out and all kinds of stuff. It's been a week, y'all. But I made it through it, and it's gonna be okay. And, let the hits keep on coming, because I'm strong and I'm making it. So I wanted to make sure I got a video in this week, because it's been hard to find any time anywhere to do anything. So wanted to apologize for looking a little bit like a hot mess, but at least I got a video in. But I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you guys next time.